Boxer Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video. Now, as always, people, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like, and I'll happily get back to you. Now, wanted to bring this to you guys' attention. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I was on the boxing scene website this morning, and I saw an article with regards to Joe Calzaghe, right? And the article was basically saying that, he's already been inducted in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. That was like 10 years ago or so. But he was inducted recently into the British Boxing Hall of Fame. I think it was last week or so. And the British Boxing Board of Control also named Calzaghe as the best British boxer in history. Now, that's definitely a topic worth debating, right? And listen, Joe Calzaghe was an unbelievable fighter. I remember watching him growing up. One of my favorite fighters to watch, man. He was terrific. He was a southpaw, which is how I used to box as well. He had terrific hand speed, good defense. He had power as well. Now, people used to accuse Calzaghe of slapping, right? But those slaps, quote unquote slaps, definitely put a dent in opponents, man. I mean, his hand speed was it was terrific, Calzaghe. So super middleweight champion. He moved up to light heavyweight, sorry, and he became a champion at that weight as well later on in his career. But he was at super middleweight for the majority of his career. Joe Calzaghe defeated the likes of Robin Reed, although that was quite controversial. Some people thought Robin Reed won that, but defeated Chris Eubank. Definitely that was. He always said that was his hardest fight. I mean, all the fights he's had, he said that Chris Eubank, that was a learning experience for him, and that really set the way for his journey. So defeating him, he then beat the likes of Robin Reed, like I said. Jeff Lacey was the one where he was a considerable underdog. I actually went to that fight when Lacey was being hyped up, being looked at as somebody that was going to be the next superstar in boxing. A lot of people, British journalists as well, thought Calzaghe was going to get knocked out in that fight. Calzaghe destroyed him. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the Robin Reed fight, the Jeff Lacey's, the Mikhail Kessler fight, that was definitely a big win for him because Kessler was another very good fighter. But of course, he then later on in his career went on to defeat the likes of a Bernard Hopkins, which we should give him full credit for that, because even though it was close and some said it could have gone either way, Bernard Hopkins still went on to achieve a lot in his career after that fight, right? Then there's Roy Jones Jr., who was well out of his prime. Do you know what I mean? I think the general consensus is Roy in his prime would have beaten Calzaghe prime for prime, but it's a topic worth debating, right? So yeah, Calzaghe's had a tremendous career. Two-weight world champion, held multiple world titles. I think he has the record at super middleweight for being one of the longest reigning holders in the division of a title. I think the other guy was Sven Otka, who he could have fought, right? I think Calzaghe wanted that, to be fair, but Sven Otka never left Germany. I mean, I don't know if he retired undefeated as well, but he had an undefeated record. He didn't have many knockouts, but Sven Otka and Calzaghe, for some reason, never got to see them two in the ring. So I think they both share that record of most title defenses at super middleweight, which is a crime, them not two fighting each other. But I think Calzaghe would have beat Sven Otka, if I'm being honest. But listen, best British boxer of all time, is that Joe Calzaghe? Do you believe that? Lennox Lewis pops to mind straight away. You've got Ken Buchanan, of course. You've got Ted Kid Lewis. But Lennox Lewis is who I also watched growing up. And I always kind of lean towards him in that debate. But happy to have that discussion with people. Lennox Lewis, undisputed heavyweight champion. What was it, 2 or 3 times he was? And he also, defeated. Look at the names on Lennox Lewis's resume. Do you know what I mean? Of course, you got to talk about the defeats to Oliver McCall and Hasim Rahman, but he did avenge those. And he has gone on to be one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Lennox Lewis, in my opinion. You've definitely got to put him in a top 10 for me. I'd put Lennox Lewis in the top 10, and I think many people would as well. So yeah, I would give him the slight edge as the best British boxer in history over Calzaghe. But like I said, man, you can't really argue Calzaghe too much. You can definitely put him in the debate there. I would always have said it would have been out of them two. The other two guys slightly before my time. But what do you guys think? I think it's a topic worth discussing, particularly any historians out there, any of you guys that might be older than me, that watch boxing longer than me, could give me your input. Let me know what you think about it, because yeah, I wouldn't say I was surprised or anything, but like straight away I thought of Lennox Lewis when I saw the articles. Like, oh, did they overlook him? Like, how was it judged? Was it boxing writers? Was it just the board that decided on it? I'll have to look in the article in a bit more detail. But for now, let me know what you guys think about that, man. Joe Calzaghe, rightly, obviously in the Boxing Hall of Fame, being inducted into the British Boxing Hall of Fame, and also being named as the best British boxer in history. So let me know what you guys think about it, man. I would have liked to have seen Calzaghe take on could have there were other super middleweights around at the time, but he was mainly in England for a lot of his career. That's what he got some stick for. I mean, he did go to America eventually later on, but he was in England for the majority of his career. And then obviously when he did go to America, that is when he fought the likes of a Bernard Hopkins and a Roy Jones and so on. But I would have liked to have seen him fight Roy Jones maybe sooner. James Toney was there. Maybe he could have fought him. Did they overlap? Yeah, I mean, Carl Froch was a name that was being thrown about. He's better than Carl Froch. Calzaghe, he would have beaten Carl Froch in my opinion. But the other guys like James DeGale and that, they came later on. So let me know what you guys think about it, man. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.